Friends, good morning. And welcome to worship here in the historic sanctuary of Fountain Street Church. No matter who you are or where you are in your journey of life, you are truly welcome here at Fountain Street. Today we are celebrating International Women's Day, which I had no idea it started way back in 1911. It's a movement that's been around a number of years, and it seeks to empower women and promote gender equality. My name is Marilyn Langford. I'm a semi-retired estate planning attorney, and I've been a member of Fountain Street Church since the early 1980s, the David Rankin years. This year, the International Women's Day movement is focusing on the theme, Give to Gain. What does that mean? Well, when we give on any number of ways, the community gains from our gift. And I just want to congratulate all of you for your gift last night. You all gave up 1 hour's worth of sleep in order to be here on time. So I hope we can all gain 1 extra hour of sunlight tonight. Today we are excited to welcome 2 local women's organizations, the Grand Rapids Women's Chorus and the Treetops Collective. Both of these nonprofits give so much and gain so much for our community. I'd like to start by talking about the Women's Chorus. They sing choral music that celebrates the rich diversity of women, really all races, ages, culture, traditions. Their music is a powerful tool to promote equality and social justice. I hope we will all experience that power when they sing for us today. Lori Tenenhouse is the founding artistic director and has served in that role since 1996. Phil Fletcher is their pianist, and I will say he's excellent. He's also my piano teacher. The choir is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. Treetops has 3 speakers that will be sharing information about Treetops. I don't know how many of you know what Treetops stands for. When I first heard about this, I thought, why are we talking about treetops? Well, I have found out that the name originates from the idea that just as trees need the right conditions to grow and develop deep roots, so do people who have migrated to our country. Treetops' mission is to help immigrant and refugee women and teen girls who have experienced all kinds of issues from the homelands where they came from, sometimes war, sometimes famine, persecution, and they need a community now where they can connect to people and opportunities that will support them. Just think what it must be like to come here, not speak the language, or not speak it very well, not know how you're going to earn a living, not know anyone in your community. Treetops is just an incredible organization that helps our immigrant, refugee, women, and teen girls. And you're going to hear about some of the wonderful things that they do from the 3 speakers that we have who will be speaking shortly. The executive director and co-founder of Treetops, Tara Carnahan, will be doing our reading later on. I want to ask as many of you as you can to stay after the service and join us in the social hall. Treetops has set up a pop-up market with all their wonderful things that they make, including this shirt that I have on. You really should go over there and just check out the different merchandise that they put in the social hall. In addition, you can get complimentary, free, chai, tea, and cupcakes. I was once at the Treetops Cafe and had their chai tea, and it is delicious. Now, before we sing our first hymn, which will be hymn 159, This Is My Song, would you all please rise as you are able? And let's go ahead and share words of peace. I will give words of peace, and you can return them if you wish, and then greet each other with similar words. May peace be with you.
Good morning. My name is Renee Theriault, and I'll be reading a poem titled Closure from Amanda Gorman that's in her book, Call Us What We Carry. To begin again isn't to go backwards, but to decide to go. Our story is not a circle carved, but a spiral, shed, shaped, spinning, shifting inward and outward ad infinitum. Like a lung on the bank of speech. Breathe with us. We disembark both beside and beyond who we were, who we are. It is a return and a departure. We spiral on, pushing up and out like a growing thing, making its form out of the earth. In a poem, there's no end, just a place where the page goes wide and waiting, like a lifted hand, poised and paused. Here is our bond, unbordered by bone. Perhaps love is how it feels to breathe the same air. All we have is time, is now. Time takes us on. How we are moved says everything about what we are to each other and what are we to each other, if not everything.
I would like to invite all the children to come forward, and you can bring your grown-ups if you want to. We have some kids still upstairs for the OWL program, but I think we have a lot of you today. Come on down. It is crowded up here. Hello. Try not to step on cords. I'm going to stay over here. It's safer. So today is International Women's Day. Did you know that? People all over the world are celebrating women and the things that they've accomplished. Do you know any women? Does anybody here know women? Yeah? You just shout out the women you know. Who is it? Rosa Parks, yeah?
I know about it, and I know that it's in March, but I forgot that it was today.
That is okay. We had a party waiting for you. So, yep, maybe your mom or a grandma or an aunt or a sister or a teacher, a friend, so many women. So we have a lot of women in this room, but we're gonna look up at the windows, and I'm wondering, it's gonna be a little hard to see, so it's okay, but I'm wondering if you see any women up in the stained glass windows, the really colorful big windows up there. Do you see any women? There's a lot of them, so a lot of windows. Maybe not as many women as there should be.
Well, we don't know their gender based on how they look.
That is a very good point. Very good point. So we know that when the artists made these windows, they did intentionally put a woman up there in particular, and it might be a little hard to see, but if you look on that side over there, Go 1, 2, 3, and the third one from the front, if you look on the left side, in the middle, there's a circle, and you gotta look really hard. The woman in that circle has a little red cross on her armband, which means that she's a Red Cross nurse. And when the artist made these windows, they put a Red Cross nurse up there. And Red Cross nurses were people who still do today, but they would help people during the wars or if there was a big storm and people were injured. And if we look really closely, we can see that it looks like she's helping somebody who was maybe injured or sick.
Can I say something?
Yes.
So, for example, when I was in elementary school, there was this kid, and they looked like a boy, but they were actually a girl. And like, anything could happen. Like, you don't know who people are, what their true spirit is, and what their gender is, based on their look and how it looks like they feel.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Yep. You are correct. You are. Well, one thing we do know about a lot of people, and women included, is that women, like that woman up there, have been healers for a long time. For thousands of years, women have been healers. And women are still healers today. Doctors, nurses, other people who help us take care of our brains and bodies, right? And Earth, Mother Earth, yeah, that's right. So maybe we should thank them, do we think? Yeah? So when we see women who are helping and healing, we should thank them. Anybody, but women today? Yeah, exactly. So our blessing this week will be about appreciating strong women who help and heal and show us the way. So if you want to raise a hand or a foot or whatever you want to raise, I can't because I got my hands full, but y'all can put your hands up and repeat after me if you would like. This week, we will appreciate all the strong women who help us and show us the way. Wonderful, thank you. All right, and we're going to head to character school. The banner is way over there if you want to follow the banner.
course, hard to follow that, but I'll try. Good morning. My name is Tamara Gurley, and I have the privilege of serving as the engagement director at Treetops Collective. And I just want to thank Fountain Street Church on behalf of Treetops for the privilege and honor for us to come today and share about our lives and our work coming alongside immigrant and refugee women and teen girls here in West Michigan. And I am not an immigrant or refugee myself. My heritage lies in the forced displacement of African peoples hundreds of years ago. So I was born here in the United States, in Ohio. Go Bucks. Anybody? No? That's for my Michigan State family fans here. But as a student of theology, a lover of Jesus, and a former minister, what I can share with you this morning is what I understand the text to teach us about radical welcome and belonging. And if you'd like to follow along, we'll start in the book of Luke, chapter 7, verses 44 in the New Testament of the Christian Bible. And here the text says, "Then Jesus turned to the woman and said, 'Simon, do you see this woman?'" Do you see this woman? In Luke 7:36 through 50, we encounter the full story of Jesus and a woman on the margins of society. And in this story, Jesus is invited to dine at the home of Simon the Pharisee. And the Pharisees were this Jewish religious movement that were deeply committed to their understanding of the law and moral seriousness and piety and holiness. They were a respected, privileged group of men. That's okay. But into this gathering and into this dining room walks a woman. And Luke tells us that this woman was known in the city. She was known not by her name. In fact, we never get a chance to know her name as we read through the text, but by a story that society told about her and why she was unworthy of love, unworthy of belonging, unworthy of presence, unworthy of community, unworthy of flourishing, and yet she comes, and she gets low before Jesus, the only place I assume that she believes she deserved to be. And while she kneels, weeping, her tears fall on the feet of Jesus, and she begins to wash them. And she loosens her hair, something a worthy woman wouldn't have done in that society. And she begins to dry his feet. And she gets so low that she kisses his feet and she pours out her most costly possession, an alabaster jar of perfume. And I just want you to let that scene sink in for a moment and think about how you might have responded to this woman, this outcast, falling apart at your feet, rubbing your feet with her hair. How would you respond? Because the Pharisees and Jesus respond in two distinct ways. The Pharisees look at the man, Jesus, and ask him why he's letting such a woman touch him. In this great moment of her grief and her sorrow, they turn to shame and judgment. But Jesus looks at the woman and he says, "Do you see her? Simon, do you see this woman?" He does not let his gaze leave hers. He turns toward her. He keeps speaking to Simon and the Pharisees, but his body and his eyes face her. And in doing so, he shifts the gaze of the room and causes those around him to turn their eyes and see her. And this is the first of three moves that Jesus makes, demonstrating for us how to radically love and how to radically welcome. First, Jesus sees her. He does not recite her reputation. He sees a woman, a human being with inherent dignity. And in this first move, he restores her personhood by simply seeing her and turning others' eyes to see her too. And I wonder how often we replace people with labels: immigrant, refugee, undocumented, asylum seeker, illegal, alien, foreigner, stranger, other. We speak categories before we speak names, and we inherit the narratives that come through those pejorative labels about the danger, the burden, the cost, the threat, the stereotypes, the needs of these people. But Jesus interrupts that impulse, and he says, "Do you see this woman? Do you see her?" Because to see someone, friends, is theological work. It is to acknowledge the image of God in them. It is to refuse to let fear and rumor and stereotype have the first or last word. It is to look at a person and say, "You are more than the stories that are told about you." And the theme of Women's International Day this year, as we've learned, is give to gain. And this is kind of the hand gesture if you want to try it out. Give to gain, let's do it. But I think my propensity for us right now is for just to live in this moment of what we can give and not focus on what we can gain because of it. But what can we give? So church, can we give the gift of truly seeing our newest neighbors and letting their stories flow from their voices and from their lives? Because the second move that Jesus makes is he bears witness to her tears. Jesus does not stop her from crying. He does not hush her. He does not push her away or consider her a distraction. And he does not look away when it gets hard, when the pain feels like too much. Her tears fall freely, and Jesus allows them to matter. And in this culture and in this period of time, your feet are how you traveled. Feet determined movement and migration. Feet carried a mission, and her tears wash his feet. It's through her sorrow, her story, her lived experience, falling on his feet and becoming part of where Jesus will move next. She anoints his feet, which means she prepares them for a divine mission with both her perfume and her tears. And she is the only person, the text tells us, a woman no less, who is known to have anointed Jesus. And this is what bearing witness means. It means we listen to the grief beneath migration. The grief of leaving home, the grief of losing language and titles and finances and jobs and family and familiar grocery stores and weekends at grandparents and roaming childhood streets and favorite restaurants and shops and losing culture and sunshine and oceans and faith communities. It's losing what makes home home. And that grief is deepened when starting over in a place where your worth and your humanity are often questioned and your dignity ignored. And so when we rush past the tears like the Pharisees did, we participate in erasure and hello? But when we bear witness, we say, your pain counts and your story matters. And your story and your tears will infuse the feet and shape how we move and how we act as a community. And finally, the third move that Jesus makes is he makes a way for her to go in peace. He says, your faith has saved you. Go in peace, in verse 50. But the only way for her to go in peace is for Jesus to carve out a way for her to walk out of that room with her head held high past those who had just judged her. And peace here is not just mere calmness. It's shalom. It's this active pursuit of wholeness, restoration, and right relationship. Jesus doesn't say, go home, you don't belong, you're not welcome, or Stay low, abide in your pain. He says, stand up and go in peace. Walk upright in peace. Peace beside you and behind you, all around you and within you, because I am with you. He clears a space for her to experience peace and flourishing and wholeness. And this, church, is where we must listen very carefully, because if we say we follow Jesus or we want to follow this example, we can't simply feel compassion after we see someone and bear witness to their pain, but we must participate actively in making a way for peace. We must work to create communities where immigrant and refugee women and teen girls and their families are recognized as neighbors and as bearers of the image of God. And we must seek radical welcome, belonging, human dignity, and peace as far as it depends on us. Jesus' 3 moves are not abstract. They are a blueprint. See the person, bear witness to the pain, make a way for peace. Because if we give these things, if we give the gift of seeing, give the gift of bearing witness, give the gift of making a way for peace, we will inevitably gain so much more beauty and so much more flourishing in our own lives and in our own communities. So, church, do you see this woman? Do you see these beautiful, brilliant, inspiring women? Women I get to call coworkers and friends and neighbors, women whom I love. And I get the privilege today to pass the mic to 2 of them as they share their stories with you as we continue honoring International Women's Day. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Peace be with you. My name is Samina. I am from Somalia. Michigan has been my home for 24 years. I am an alumna of the concentric program at Treetops Collective. And today I serve as a program manager, senior program manager. It is an honor to be here, especially as a Muslim woman welcomed into this church. That says a lot about the Fountain Street Church. I feel that this is a worship space. I feel that this is the house of God. It is a place with big heart where everyone is welcome. As I walked around today and went upstairs, I saw that there was a space where it had a Buddhist worship. And that is really meaningful, that it is open to different communities. But before we begin, let's take a moment together. If you're comfortable, I invite you to place your hand on your heart. I invite you to close your eyes or gaze down onto the floor. Think of a woman who shaped your life. Maybe this is your mother, maybe it's your grandmother, a sister, a godmother, a teacher, a friend, someone who believed in you when you did not believe in yourself. Hold her close to your heart. Bring her closer and hug yourself tightly as you think of this woman. Now slowly open your eyes, return to your seat, return to this room, return to us, and turn next to the person next to you. Share one word that describes this woman. I'll give you guys 10 seconds. Go. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for bringing that person close to you. I often hear, when I ask that, I hear beautiful, strength, love, courage, and patience. These memories of this woman quietly hold us together. And since today we are celebrating women, please, again, turn someone next to you, anyone, even a man, because life is not possible without them too, okay? Give them a high five and say, "You are amazing, you are amazing." Go, friends. Awesome. Yes, we are all amazing, women and men. It looks like, though, some of you haven't high-fived since 1998. No judgment. It shows. Okay? But speaking of a woman who lift us up, let me tell you about Somali women. The women who have raised me, the women that I saw in my life. They are the heartbeat of my community. Somali women are powerful in most beautiful ways. We move quietly, we love loudly, and we protect furiously. We speak confidently, sometimes, not so much for me, but we keep families running, and we remember every detail of every family member, and we're a lot. We cook for 50 people with one big pot and still call it just a snack. We lead without a title. We speak wisdom without microphone. And yes, at weddings, especially at Somali weddings, we will outdance everyone in the room with our brambur. Jak, 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 jak. I wish you can experience brambur one day. But when Somali women come together, magic happens. They organize, they create, they pray, they solve problems, and you won't believe this all happens before the men even finish their tea. I want to share my own journey of belonging as a woman of refugee. As belonging to me is a comfort of being seen, accepted, and understood. But in today's world, sadly, we are divided. The first thing we notice of people is their skin color, the gender, the religion, their nationality, and many more that we choose to label people. And instead of embracing our differences, we use it against each other. We try to focus on faults, and that truly breaks the sense of belonging we all need. I want you to imagine leaving everything you know, for example, this church, your country, your home, your neighbor, and your language. And you are arriving somewhere new, hoping to find connection, safety, or whatever you're looking for. For me, that was Michigan as a teen. At first, instead of being welcomed with a high five, right? Imagine missing the high five and slapping someone in the face, right? I was slapped with a label, alien with a green card status. I had to start defining myself as a Black woman, which I am, but I'm truly not an alien. All I knew was to define myself as Somali, but I had to learn a lot of different labels as I came into this country. And after becoming an American citizen, I did carry a bitter-sweet loyalty to my birth home, and then a sense of disconnection in my new one. It took me a long, long time to feel at home. And through these experiences, I discovered the power of community, friendship, and support. At Treetops, I have found people, women especially, that saw me as a woman, as a mother, as a friend. They have accepted my scattered brain, my fears, and my joy. They've held space for me, encouraged me, and reminded me that belonging is not something you just find, but it is something that we build together. And through my experience with these amazing women, I wrote something for them. I call it Sisters of Treetops. I say, Sisters of Treetops, before I met you, I thought strength meant standing alone. But you have taught me real power is standing together. Oh, Sisters of Empowerment, how I wish I met you sooner. You lift me when I stumble. With you beside me, I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be me, Amina, and that is enough. You make room for my loud days, my quiet days, my flaws, my fire when I'm angry. You have taught me belonging is not something we earn, it is something we build together. Strength is not solo, it is concentric, it is circle. Sisters of Treetop, you are my courage. You are my reminder, and you are my home. So today, on International Women's Day, I celebrate my Sisters of Treetop. Let us honor all women who lift us, the families, the friends, the mentors, and sisters who hold us up. Women are the glue of families, communities, and truly our hearts. When nurtured, women are unstoppable. What I want to leave with you today is a commitment. Let us commit to seeing each other, accepting each other, and creating spaces where everyone belongs and where the world becomes more compassionate. I also celebrate Tara, our co-founder, who has been elected or selected, I don't know what the word is, English is slipping right now, as a Brilliance Award. She's our co-founder, and today Treetop wouldn't be existing without her, and so I celebrate her on this special day. And now let's celebrate and also welcome one of my Treetop sister on the stage, Taiba. Yalla ya Taiba.
Hello everyone. My name is Taiba, and Michigan been my home for almost 4 years now, but I am from Afghanistan. And also I am a community leader with Treetops Collective. Today on International Women's Day, I want to begin with something very important to me, my faith. In Islam, women have dignity, honor, and rights. Women and men are equal in value before God. Islam gives women the right to education, the right to work, the right to own property, and the right to make choices in their lives. Our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught people to respect women and treat them with kindness. He said that the best people are those who are the best to women. One of my biggest inspiration is his wife, Hazrat Khadija. She was a successful businesswoman. She was strong, confident, and faithful. She stood beside the Prophet with strength and support. Her story shows me that a woman can have faith and also be strong in society. When I think about women in society, I think about something very powerful. A woman is the first teacher. She teaches love, she teaches patience, she teaches values. Women do not only raise children, they shape the future. A strong woman builds a strong home. A strong home builds a strong society. Today I stand here not only as a woman, but also as a mother. In 2021, I made the hardest decision of my life. I left my country, my family, my work, and everything I knew. I came to United States and started from the beginning. New language, new culture, new life. It wasn't easy. There were days I felt very scared. There were nights I cried. But I did it for my children, especially for my daughter. Because in Afghanistan today, the Taliban do not allow girls to go to school after 6th grade. They have banned colleges and universities for women. Many women do not have access to their basic rights. As a mother, this was very painful for me to see. I wanted a different future for my daughter. I want her to have education, confidence, and opportunities. Most importantly, I want her to respect all people, no matter their language, religion, race, or skin color. I want her to choose kindness, compassion, and understanding. If we raise strong daughters and respectful sons, we build a better world. Today is a day to celebrate women, their restraint, their hard work, and their achievements. But we must also remember something important. There are still countries in the world, like Afghanistan, where women are not allowed to raise their voices. There are still women fighting for their basic rights. There are still women who cannot celebrate today. To those women, I want to say, you are strong, you are brave, you are not alone. We see you, we hear you, and we will stand with you. If you cannot raise your voice, we will raise ours for you. If you cannot speak, we will speak for you. One day, we will stand together and celebrate this day freely. Until that day, we will not forget you. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Let us all rise for the next hymn, which is hymn 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Hello. Today's collection is dedicated to Treetops Collective. It's truly an organization that shares our values. Whether you say radical welcome or radical hospitality, as we do here, empowering one another through community is our shared path. Your generous contributions to Treetops Collective, both financial and through deed, help create a more loving world. Thank you.
They are mover. They are mover, maker, and multitudes. Thank you so much, Grand Rapids Women's Chorus. My name is Tara Carnahan, and I have the privilege of being the co-founder and executive director of Treetops Collective. And I want to share 1 minute of story. I know we're kind of running over on time, but a few years ago, I was at an event that Treetops was hosting. It was a World Hijab Day, where we were honoring women in our community. And toward the end of that event, that was held at a local masjid or mosque, there were a few prayers, and Amina invited me up to pray. And that is the single most profound moment of radical welcome I have ever experienced. And when I drove home from that event, I wept, because I realized that in the churches that I grew up in, I don't think that I would have extended the same invitation. And so thank you, Fountain Street Church, for being who you are. Today, I am reading a litany to honor women from the Book of Common Prayer. We walk in the company of women who have gone before, mothers of the faith, both named and unnamed, testifying with ferocity and faith to the spirit of wisdom and healing. They are the judges, the prophets, the martyrs, the warriors, poets, loves, and saints in the landscape of our dreams. We walk in the company of Deborah, who judged the Israelites with authority and strength. We walk in the company of Esther, who used her position as queen to ensure the welfare of her people. We walk in the company of you whose names have been lost and silenced, who kept and cradled the wisdom of the ages. We walk in the company of the woman with the flow of blood, who audaciously sought her healing and release. We walk in the company of Mary Magdalene, who wept at the empty tomb until the risen Christ appeared. We walk in the company of Phoebe, who led an early church in the Empire of Rome. We walk in the company of Perpetua of Carthage, whose witness in the 3rd century led her to martyrdom. We walk in the company of St. Christian the Astonishing, who resisted death with persistence and wonder. We walk in the company of Julian of Norwich, who wed imagination and theology, proclaiming, "All shall be well." We walk in the company of Sojourner Truth, who stood against oppression, righteously declaring in 1852, "Ain't I a woman?" We walk in the company of the Argentine mothers of the Plaza de Mayo, who turned their grief to strength, standing together to remember the disappeared children of war with a joyful indignation. We walk in the company of Alice Walker, who named the lavender hue of womanish strength. We walk in the company of you, mothers of the faith, who teach us to resist evil with boldness, to lead with wisdom, and to heal. Amen.
Let's give a round of applause for the beautiful choral music of the Grand Rapids Women's Chorus and the inspiring women from Treetops. We hope you will continue to give and gain, to give generously to further achieve women's equality and gain benefits for the entire community. And I forgot to mention, these beautiful flowers up here are in memory of Mary Ellen Patterson Happel. She was a strong woman and a member of Fountain Street Choir for a number of years. Now, please remember, after the service, you can go next door, And there's a great selection of shirts and delicious chai tea and cupcakes. Before we go, I'd like you to repeat after me. The world will be saved by love. We go to love the world. Thank you.